so Captain Hayes, you are now, as we speak, in downtown Stamford. Is that right?
I am. I'm in back of the St. Mary's Church on Elm Street, and we're giving away packs of 10 masks to any car that pulls up. I can swing around. I'll show you them.
Yeah. Go ahead.
They're all. You got everyone. You got chiefs, captains, firefighters, and we're just thousands of cars that come through, and we're handing out 7,500 masks today.
Wow. Is there's a line there?
Yeah, there was a line earlier. It seems to be dissipating, but it comes in waves. So, we're expecting to run out before that. We're supposed to stop at 7, but we'll be out of them. But we'll be out of masks before then.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So
Yeah,
your guys prepared for this. They came in from like emergency management. You got your cases of those, and then
I'll show you my crew over here. They're the guys in blue. See them over there? Those guys. They're giving away the masks.
Cool.
So
it's
it's one of the many. It's one of the many public relation things we do. Forgive me. There's a lot of wind down here, so if it gets windy, you gotta let me know.
We got you good.
Okay, cool.
So
it's one of the many public relations things we do. When we're not fighting fires, we're out here doing everything from giving away masks to, if in better times we'd be doing station tours or actually, what we're doing right now is a lot of birthday parties. We're driving up and blowing our sirens for little kids who are having birthday parties with their families.
Oh, that's an awesome idea.
Yeah. So
cool. We got to spread the word around. This is a good idea. You guys might be breaking the ice. That's the first department I heard doing that.
Yeah, we're not advertising it, but anybody who winds up requesting it, we will normally show up. So it started through Facebook, which was people just requesting it, and we're like, oh well, we're not doing anything else, let's do that. So
that's awesome. Let me ask you this one. On your this whole COVID thing impacting the fire service, right? You're running with crews of 3 or 4 on the engine behind you.
Yep.
And it's pretty tight quarters in there. So you're wearing a mask when you're running out, and then you take it off.
Well, we actually wear masks in the fire station right now. We have very strict rules to enter our fire station. Only the shift personnel are allowed in the fire station, and to enter the fire station, they have to have their temperature taken. And then we're here for 24 hours. So through that 24 hours, 4 or 3 other times, we take your temperature. And that's just to make sure that nobody's developing a fever while they're at work. And, because basically if one of us gets it, 4 of us get it. And then that would not be good.
Right. Then you got to shift down, right? These are people that work together all the time and kind of function together, right?
Right.
Wow.
So we actually we wear our masks in the fire station when we're in and around each other. Obviously not when we eat, but we try to eat separately as much as possible. So we take whatever steps are necessary to just try to minimize contact with each other.
Yeah, and then the public too. Do you run primary medical out? You do EMS support with the engine?
We do. We are designated first responders. We went out on a call earlier today for a man who passed out inside of a warehouse, and turned out nothing significant with him, but we were the first ones there, and we treated the patient for about 6 minutes before the ambulance arrived. So
wow. So you don't know what you're running into. You gotta constantly wearing a mask and the gear.
Right.
You don't even know later.
Yeah, I mean, we wear gloves, masks. Actually, we wear double masks. We have a mask that's called an N95 mask, which filters out 95% of the particulate, and then we wear this over it, this mask. So, we're double gloving, and if it turns out to be anything significant where we really have to get involved, then we'll wear gowns and stuff or a suit.
Wow. Okay, so you guys you're deployed with medical protection, not just hazardous materials. You're going medical as well.
Oh yeah, no, I would say probably 60, maybe 65% of what we do is medical related here.
She got a big
So
exposure. How's the department doing? Uh,
we're good. We have 280 members, and of those two, and I get tested actually everyone here gets tested every 2 weeks. And with that, out of the 280 some odd guys, we've all had the test, and only 10 to maybe 12 people have tested positive for that. So, and of those 12, none of them are in the hospital or were treated with serious COVID symptoms. Most of them have like a chest cold, um, you know, more like flu-like symptoms than anything.
so Stanford is running kind of like Connecticut Ground Zero. It started off in the periphery, and Stanford led it, and it seems to be coming down. Is that right?
Well, we are a direct hub to New York City, so like we have a huge trade station here. People commute from New York City to come to work here, as well as people here commuting to New York City. So this is we used to be the fourth largest city, and I think we've just taken over the third spot. So, and we're growing exponentially. If I'll give you a tour. You can see all the high-rise buildings in back of me, in the distance. But we have the most number of high-rises than any city in Connecticut.
That takes a big amount of hardware in the fire service to support that
Yes.
kind of exposure and a
Yeah.
lot of training. So, hey, speaking of training, so you're well over 30 years, is that right?
33. Yep.
33.
I started here in 1987.
So well, let's wind the clock back. What did it take? What did it take to get there, Captain Hayes?
All right. So I was not that kid who played like fireman. I was the kid who played cop. I was always the cop. So I don't know how I got here, but here's how it did happen. When I was 16, I was looking to get out of trouble, so I joined the volunteer fire department, the local volunteer fire department in Chapua. They did a whopping 100 calls a year with no medicals, but it was a social success and a skill success. I started learning things that I could have only dreamed of. So the volunteer fire department was a huge starting block for me. Then I needed a job besides lifeguarding. I was a lifeguard at the time, but I needed a real job. So I went to become an EMT for a private ambulance service. And I started working in Yonkers, where I became a paramedic. And I worked there for a couple of years as a paramedic. And I ran into a friend who was a firefighter up here. And he said, dude, you got to take the test. You got to come up and work here. So I really never dreamed about being a firefighter, but I took the test and I scored number, I think 5 or 6 out of maybe like 600 people. And so I got the job, and I've been here ever since. And I will tell you, when people say, firefighting is the best job in the world, it absolutely is. I absolutely love it here. I get to do so many things, so many things that most people would never dream of.
Wow. So let's so you go through, you get all your certifications, and let's talk about captain, right? So captain, you got your own station for a whole shift. It's your extended family, multiple rigs, your show, right?
Well, in my station, I have one rig. I'm a single fire engine. This is the one I'm sitting in front of. Is my fire engine. However, some of the stations have 2 to 3 rigs, and we go from firefighter to lieutenant to captain. So there are some lieutenants. Some of the firehouses have 1 captain and 3 lieutenants, and they rotate through. My station is 4 captains, 1 per shift. So I had to be a lieutenant before I could be a captain. But I was lucky enough, because of my background, I spent almost 20 years on Rescue 1, City of Stamford, and that was a great thing. Rescue did everything from dive rescue, scuba diving, to rope rescue, to confined space, to hazardous materials. So for 20 years, I did it all. It was great.
You got the rescue units. So for scouts that are listening to this one, the rescue unit's also going to be the ones that are kind of committed to saving firefighters when they're in trouble too, right?
Yes, well, actually, that's how we started, but it's changed. The rescue now is in charge of doing the what we call the primary and secondary searches of a house, and we have we special call an extra engine to the scene, which is called a RIT engine, or a rapid intervention team engine, and all four people from that engine get out, and they do nothing but look for safety issues going on at the fire scene. For instance, if they don't see any ladders to the second floor, they will put ladders up. If they see a trip hazard, they'll remove the trip hazard. Their job is to keep us safe. And then if something does go wrong, they are all prepared with special equipment to go running in and rescue the firefighter that's in trouble.
Cool. All right. So that's a RIP team. So there's a rescue unit. Yeah, you got an engine behind you.
Yep.
And I'm sure you're running a bunch of ladders down there with the high rises.
We do. We have
kinds of ladders.
Well, we have one straight stick, and then the rest, the other two are buckets. They're what we call tower ladders. So you can ride the bucket up into the air, 100 feet in the air. And unfortunately, that does not get to all the buildings, obviously.
Right. So, well, and there's also problems with like people parking and cities, and so the truck has to like reach over people that are parking in the wrong spot, right?
Yeah, well, especially in this area where I work, it's a very narrow roaded neighborhood. It's very residential, as you may have seen when I flipped the camera around. We are not in the downtown area where the roads are nice and wide. So, this engine is one of the oldest engines in our fleet, and we keep screaming to keep it because it can handle the smaller roads.
Okay, I see a better turning radius and profile on it. Yeah.
Yeah, we fit through spots the other engines, the newer engines, don't fit through.
So, Captain Hayes, out of your station at Shipan, how do you say that?
Shipan.
You're on the water, is that right? Shipan.
I am.
You got a
I'm
fireboat
right on
down
Long
there.
Island Sound. Yes. So
you got a fireboat.
We are yeah. So we are what they call a Coast Guard partner, because the Coast Guard's been cut back so much. We are a designated water responder for emergencies. It could be a fire, it could be a water rescue, it could be a lot of things. Anything to do with on water that's an emergency, we are now a designated responder, and we are in charge of the fireboat at this fire station. In fact, I'll show you something funny.
You got your glove on. You got your glove right next to the camera.
Oh, sorry about that.
Go ahead. That's all right.
Okay, so if you look at this fire engine, if you look up there, see that light? We have another one on the other side. The mechanic thought it'd be funny if this engine has port and aft lights. So those are boat lights for our fire engine. Then if you look right here, you can see we're the marine unit with our little waves.
Okay, cool. So
that's our mechanic who likes to keep us happy. So he made, even though we have the oldest fire engine, he souped it up and made it nice for us.
Well, that's a sense of ownership too, right? It makes that piece of equipment last 30 years.
Yes, sir. And here, so we have a marine radio here, a computer, a mobile data terminal. I don't know if you can see that.
Got it.
And we have this thing right here is a key to the city. It's electronic. It opens up like all the doors in the city. So it's guarded with a lot of security. We have a thermal imaging camera, which allows us to see in the dark, or in a smoke-filled room. It'll help us find a body if we need to. And we have radios, and this is just my spot. You can see it's really crowded here. But here, I'll show you here's the driver's side is over there. The driver, all he does is drive to the scene, blows the siren, gets us there, pumps water, and that's his job. Is to make sure he does not go into the buildings unless he's part of that RIT team I told you about.
Right. That's awesome. And right behind you, facing the opposite direction, would be the rest of your crew, right? Yes.
Yeah. In the back seat. Here, I'll even show you. It's not very spectacular because it's an old fire engine, but you see, we have enough space for 4 firefighters back here, but there's only 2 that ride back here. And this is the most important piece of equipment we carry, which is our air pack. It has a mask that we wear over our face with a big bottle that has about 45 minutes of usable air. It's supposed to be a 1 hour bottle, but it only lasts for about 45 minutes because we're all, working hard. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. So let me ask you this one. You're getting familiar with scouting pretty close. You've got a son in the program, and if it's I always consider the fire service to be like scouting on steroids. It's
yes, it very much is. Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's the other side of lighting fires, but
they always, for some reason, they always say you guys make good fire starters. I don't know where that comes from.
It's got to be scouting to becomes a firefighter, I guess.
So let me show you one person here. Actually, I'm not wearing a mask, so I can't get close. Mike, wave. That's my Eagle Scout. He's my driver.
That's cool. So
a godsend. I'll tell you right now, to have an Eagle Scout as a driver is incredible. That he makes things happen. If I sit there and I need something in the flash, he's there and he knows how to do it. I don't have to sit there and tell him how to do it. He's a leader. He's what I call the informal leader of my group. When I'm not around to say something, he's the one who applies the pressure to the guys and say, "Come on, guys, we gotta get this done." So, I mean, I cannot speak loudly enough about the whole promotion process in the Boy Scouts, because, I mean, there's my living example. He's I couldn't imagine a better candidate to drive me around, for on a fire engine.
So let me ask you this, and I'm gonna let you go back to work in a minute here. If you had to leave some wisdom from 30 plus years in the fire service, and there's a bunch of scouts that are going to be listening to us here, what would you tell them?
I would say get out and learn as many different skills as you can, including the knots and the ropes. I mean, we use ropes and knots, like, even besides the fire department, I use it in my car, if I got straps up and onto the roof. But get out there and get away from the electronics and start living, which is trying different things. With Kevin, that last week, I taught him how to use my chainsaw, and we're cutting up wood. And now he's out there splitting it with, I showed him how to split it. So he's my official, firewood provider right now. And those are because of the skills that I taught him. Now I'm very comfortable with all these tools, and I trained him like I was training a firefighter. I explained all the safety issues. I explained how the thing works and what could happen if it doesn't work right, but go out and try to learn as many life skills as you can, because the schools don't necessarily do that for you, and you're going to have to do it on your own or through Boy Scouts.
Well, outstanding, and I'm going to let you get back to work. So on behalf of the Camporee and Quinnipiac District and Connecticut Yankee Council, and as the Scoutmaster, I do want to thank you. And there's a term we use to firefighters, and that's be safe.
Thank you. You're awesome. You're a great Scout leader, and keep up the great work. And I hope you go visit a fire station. Every fire station I know, volunteer or career, they'd love to have you, and they love to show you all their equipment. So if you ever want to take a field trip to Stamford, you let me know, and I can show you around down here.
Maybe we'll reconnect and we'll go back onto the fireboat and play that for fire safety merit badge, guys.
Oh, that would be fun. The fireboat is the best part of my job.
Well, you be safe, and thank you for everything you're doing for your community and your town and the state and for scouting.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.